Thank you for joining us for this edition of Global Connections. I'm really happy to be here with you. My name is Jason Camelli. I'm from the Office of Global Initiatives, and joining me is my colleague in Global Initiatives, Cristales Sotomayor. Wave Cristales. Cristales is a Berklee alumna as well, and Davis Wimberly is here. He's joining us as well from Institutional Advancement. And we have the Director of Summer Programs, Oisin McCauley, as well. Hey, Oisin. And we've got Berklee alum and incredible educator, artist, guitarist, and partner in all things Berklee that we do in the Dominican Republic, Javier Vargas from the National Conservatory and other places around the Dominican Republic joining us. And we have Marie Isabel del Rosario, who is currently studying at Berklee, and she's going to be talking a little bit later about the AES scholarship and coming to the summer programs. And we're going to keep letting people in and join. We've got a lot of people, like I said, registered. It is a Zoom session, and Zoom rules will apply. So go ahead and keep yourself muted while we do the presentation, but we are going to open it up for a question and answer. If you want to turn your cameras on, that's great, so we can see your happy, smiling faces. That would be really cool as well. Yeah, totally cool. Thank you. Awesome. Great to see everybody. I hope all of you are hanging in, staying healthy, doing well, making great music. I'm really, really excited to do this session because this has taken a lot of hard work from a number of people and a generous gift that my colleagues will be able to speak more about, but it's helping lots of students connect into the Berklee experience. And you know, for those of you that have had the opportunity to study with a Berklee graduate or come and study in one of our programs, take a class online, you know that it's a wonderful opportunity to be involved in. Before we go further, what I was hoping is that in the chat, if you could tell us your instrument, or if you're a vocalist, or if you're a multiple instrumentalist, and what city, what part of the island are you from in the Dominican Republic? So if you can, go ahead and jump in. And then I see that people would like to have this in Spanish. So Javier, would you mind jumping in and giving a little translation for that introduction?
Buenas tardes a todos. Gracias por estar aquí. Estamos muy emocionados por esta oportunidad que le vamos a dar a todos los estudiantes dominicanos de poder optar por 5 becas para el programa Aspire de 5 semanas que se realiza en el verano en Berklee College of Music. Y estamos aquí para dar todas las informaciones pertinentes para que ustedes puedan aplicar y audicionar para optar por esta oportunidad. Jason pidió hace un momentito, para los que no le entendieron, pero veo que ya muchos lo han hecho, que pongan por favor su nombre, su instrumento y de qué parte del país son. Eso para nosotros es bien importante. Su instrumento, o si son vocalistas, ponen entonces vocalista. La reunión se va a realizar en inglés, pero cualquier dato importante yo estaré traduciendo para todos ustedes. Así que nada, bienvenidos sean todos y gracias por estar aquí.
Cool, thank you, Javi, and really appreciate you being here and all the incredible work you do with us as a representative, as an ambassador for Berklee, the amazing Berklee and Santo Domingo programs, all the work with the Michelle Camilo Scholarship and AES scholarships, and also just the awesome music you create and teaching that you do. So, man, it's great to be here, and I can't wait to get back down there to see you. What I'd like to do now is I want to turn it over to my colleague, an incredible fiddle player, violinist, touring artist, musician, director of summer programs, somebody you should go online and check out. Oisin McCauley. Oisin, you want to take it away and talk about the summer programs, maybe share some information and then talk about the scholarship this year?
Sure thing, Jason. So summer programs at Berklee, we have almost 3,000 students every summer at Berklee for our pre-college programs. So it's a pretty busy place, but nothing's more busy than the Aspire program, also previously known as the 5-week summer performance program, still part of the title, I think. It's a very long title. I think we need to revisit the title, but it is designed basically to be a pre-college version of a Berklee degree experience. So if you're at college at Berklee, you get a lot of the options in the 5-week program that are like that experience. And it's a little bit, I won't say better, but it is a little bit more diverse than the degree experience, because you get to try things like a little bit of music production, a little bit of performance, a little bit of film scoring maybe, or electronic digital instrument instruction, stuff like that. And you know, when you're in the degree program, you have to specialize much more directly than that. So it's designed to give you an overall experience of what it's like to be a Berklee student in all the divisions and departments at Berklee, and playing in all the sorts of ensembles that you'll experience if you're a degree student at Berklee. So it's like mini degree in 5 weeks. That's what to expect. Saying that means it's very, very intense at times for students. It is for students who love music and know that this is their path, that you must play, you must perform, you must record, you must, whatever your passion is, it's for passionate students. Students who are not very passionate about music will find this a tough haul. So we're glad to have so many really great young budding musicians here, because I know there's so many of you who feel the way we do about music, which is we got to do it and there's nothing else, right? Whatever pathway it is, you have to follow it. So maybe I'll just play a short video to show what the 5-week program is like. Although saying that, I mean, does anything ever really show you what experience is like? But let's have a look at the video here.
When I was little, I was always fascinated with TV scores and film scores and video game music. A friend of the family, he said, if you want a little taste of Berklee, you should go to 5-week.
I got a trumpet, which is my grandfather's trumpet. And my grandmother actually always told me since I was young, you should go to Berklee, you should go to Berklee. At the age of 8, I started playing piano. And then I started playing guitar around the age of 13 and singing around the same time. But I really got into music after I attended this Berklee program.
And it all made so much sense.
Berklee has a motto, to be, not to seem. And that's what being an artist is about. I went to
Oh, Sheen, I think you muted the audio, man. I think you might need to unmute.
There we are. Sorry about that. Sorry about that.
Weeks. Students come from all over the world. So they come in the first day, there's an opening celebration, they move into their dorms, there's a ton of excitement.
They're motivated. I mean, and the energy is so high, it's kind of frightening sometimes.
The moment I step into any of my classes, I just, pull out my little booklet and start just writing down every single thing the teacher says.
When a student comes to the 5-week program, they are being taught by faculty members who teach at Berklee. That also means by participating in the 5-week summer program, Berklee now gives you credit towards your degree. All the professors that choose to teach at 5-week do it because we love it.
The thing I'm really excited about is the string orchestra, which is not like any string orchestra you've heard before. We listen to tunes that we like and we learn how to play them on our instruments. And usually those tunes don't have those instruments in them. 5-week orchestra is fantastic. We play metal, we play jazz, just the styles vary so much. It's so fun.
In my theory and performance class, we play every day because that's important. And every student I've ever dealt with that 5-week improves.
Every year we have a higher level of artists, people who are still gigging, who have been professional musicians for a long period of their life. So you're dealing with people with PhDs and years of road experience. I mean, that's incredible.
The summer program is a great introduction to not only Berklee, but the world of music.
I hope my 5-week students take away from the program a head full of things to practice and have a heart full of wonderful memories of the time they've spent playing with their peers and growing over the course of 5 weeks.
You have all these opportunities with all these new people that you meet. It can help you get into different styles and help you create new music that you never thought you could create before. I met my drummer and my bassist in my current band because they were my roommates in 5 Week last year. We'd actually played several gigs by the time 5 Week was over. And I plan to come to Berklee and meet them as a band next year.
5 Week is really relaxed and everyone's here to help you, and you have the sense of, oh my gosh, I can play with this person and they can help me on my musical journey.
It's a home here. That's what it is. You know, we are a community. And if you come to Berklee, there's a part of you that always stays here.
All right, so that's just a little taster video that we made a couple of years ago. So some of the things you probably noticed there are, you know, the diversity of people and instruments and music types, genres that are going on there. It's a very diverse program. There's an awful lot of opportunity to play in ensembles of music that you've never probably experienced before, which is very, very recommended. And also the diversity of people coming from all over the world. It's probably the most international music program, pre-college music program that you could imagine. And a lot of that is down to parts of the world very close to you. Dominican Republic, Brazil, Argentina, all these countries in South America have added so much amazing vibrancy to not just our 5 Week program, but to Berklee in general. And now we're seeing a lot of Berklee alums, of course, in the Latin Grammys every year, and that's just really enriching for everyone. So the program itself, 5 weeks long. It starts off with you doing a little bit of auditioning to get into the different ensembles. Some of the ensembles require auditions, some of them do not. Some of them are available on just a request at the office. You choose a style for the program out of the styles that are available at Berklee, and you choose obviously your instrument on your registration, which is the instrument on which you receive your private instruction every week. So you get a private lesson from a Berklee faculty instructor who teach both in this program and in the degree program. And then as you get towards the end of the program, you're learning a lot of harmony, ear training. And Jason will attest that everything at Berklee is designed to meet you at your level and then give you as much headroom as you could possibly need to explore and expand and grow as a musician. So there are opportunities to grow way beyond what a pre-college program would be expected to offer, way into the degree program level, should you happen to be one of these gifted people whose ear training is just off the charts, or your understanding of harmony is a little bit like Jacob Collier or one of these guys. You know, that Berklee can meet you there, and that's pretty exciting because there is really no limit. The one huge piece of advice that I always give students coming into this program every year is that we have a 5 week office of very, very empathetic, compassionate, and very experienced educators who run our 5 week program. They're called the 5 week team, John, Jeff, and Vesla, and their doors open at all times to talk to you about anything that's going on in the program. So if we can't hear what's going on in your life that's not really working for you, we can't do anything about it, is our motto. We want you to come tell us, and there's very, very little that we can't, you know, improve, change ensemble, change instructor, change the pathway you've taken the program to make it work. And so I would just say that that's a really important point. So I'll just go on to talk a little bit about the scholarship that's involved here. And the scholarship from AES is super generous this time around. There are 5 full ride awards. That means tuition and accommodation is completely covered for the winners of this award. And they're equivalent in generosity to the workshop scholarships, our highest scholarships at the 5 week program. So the form that we're sharing today to apply is super simple. The only thing that is required is to come up with 3 videos of no more than 3 minutes of length. We need your name, email address, date of birth, telephone number, and then, sorry, it's two links, 2 YouTube links. YouTube works best for us. We can we can accept other streaming services, and we know that YouTube sometimes, depending on what country or what town or whatever, what your friends or family or school are using, if you need to use another service, that's fine. But just it's very, very important that you make sure that the video can be seen by us, that it's a public setting video, okay? So that when you've recorded your video, that it's able to be seen. So test it among your family or friends, make sure they can see it before you submit your form. 3 minutes in length. We want to see or hear, more importantly, what you're best at, what really makes you tick, what your heart is gravitating towards in music. We don't want you to try and play for us what you think we would like to hear. So a common mistake, we have students who think we're a jazz school, and they'll record Stella by Starlight and Autumn Leaves, and they're a guitar player who loves samba, right? It doesn't make any sense, right? So we want to hear the samba. We want to hear what the beautiful depth and value of the music that you have to offer, not what you think we want to hear. Because Berklee is not a jazz school. Berklee is a school designed to help you gravitate towards the professional music industry in whatever form that takes. So it's important to remember that we're not a jazz school. We're not a pop school necessarily. Those musicians, those teachers, those people who become successful in those genres, absolutely. But it's a school that is open to all kinds of music, and absolutely particularly Latin music these days. So if that is your passion, or if pop music is your passion, whatever it is, we want to hear that. And that's the most important thing about putting your video together, is what makes you tick is what you should be performing in that video. So I'll hand it back to Jason to MC a little bit, and maybe he has some extra detail that we want to.
Yeah, thank you, Oisin, for that. That's really great to share all that detail about the programming. Just the opportunity is incredible. And I think the best thing to do is to actually ask somebody that's done it. So we're really, really fortunate. Marie Isabel, would you be able to kind of like talk about, because you're an AES scholar, and could you share a little bit about your experience, and then not only in the program, but then maybe, your experience in coming to Berklee? How's that sound?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you great.
So when I was in the 5-week, it was in 2018, with the same scholarship that AES give to all the Dominican students, Dominican musicians, sorry. And it was amazing. I'm just thinking about, okay, I want to go to Berklee to play classical music. But then I realized that Berklee gives me different ways for thinking about who I am as a musician. I'm singer too, I'm violinist, I can play the guitar, I can play the piano. And with all this class on harmony, ear training, the professors, the faculty, the Latin community here, that is huge. It's incredible, you can believe it. It helps me a lot to, open my mind in different ways as an artist. And also now that I'm here studying, it's incredible. I can explain that in words.
Yeah. What did you major? Actually, what was your focus during the 5-week program? Did you just do performance, or did you do songwriting, or did you pick another topic?
No, performance. That was my focus in that program.
And what was your schedule like? Were you in class every day, all day? What was it like?
Okay, I remember private.
And actually, if you want to, you can speak in Spanish too, because I think some of the people here might appreciate that.
Okay.
Is that cool?
So you can answer the questions in Spanish, and everybody will understand.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
Ok, entonces voy a hablar sobre mi experiencia en el 5-week en 2018, cómo era más o menos mi horario, cómo fue la experiencia. Para introducirles y ponerlos en contexto, yo gané este mismo tipo de beca. No quería aplicar, me sentía como que no iba a ser posible. El video que yo mandé fue en pijama, se lo voy a ser sincera. Yo no quería, fue como X, ok. Entonces, cuando me aceptan para todo, pues nada, eso fue una bendición de Dios. Luego que llego aquí, veo lo diverso que es Berklee. Mis clases tenía ear training, adiestramiento auditivo, armonía, tenía labs de violín, como clases específicas de violín, pero veíamos diferentes géneros. Veíamos funk fusion, también tenía mi ensemble, éramos una banda, batería, guitarra, bajo, había brass, habían trompetas, saxofones, todos en un solo cuarto de ensemble, y también teníamos acceso a los estudios. Recuerdo también que fui parte de la orquesta de Musical Theater Ensemble, que era como música de musicales. Montamos varias obras y la experiencia fue increíble. Estar en Berklee para mí me abrió muchísimo la mente en todos los aspectos, y también entender que no solo tú eres un músico de solamente toco, o sea, no, qué tú estás tocando, entender la armonía, combinar todo, toda tu visión artística y también lo que tú eres, lo que tú quieres hacer, sin importar la edad y el lenguaje. Porque aquí en Berklee ustedes van a encontrar más latinos que... Eso es increíble. Yo en el 5 Week cuando llegué no hablaba nada de inglés. Todo el mundo me traducía todo, y fui aprendiendo al pasito. Y ahora que estoy aquí en Berklee, ya haciendo mi degree, es una bendición totalmente. Así que si quieren saber algo más específico, pues me dejan.
Cool.
saber.
When you were at 5 Week, did you end up doing an audition for full-time study as well? Or when did you do your audition for Berklee as a full-time student?
Okay, can I say this question in Spanish for the other people?
Yeah, that's a good, yeah,
Yes,
please.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so during the 5 Week program, did you do the audition for Berklee as a full-time student?
Yeah.
You did, okay.
Durante el 5 Week hice mi audición para pertenecer a Berklee como ya...
Full-time, yeah.
Exacto. Y recuerdo que la audición fue excelente, pero mi entrevista fue malísima. O sea, no se imaginan. Yo no sabía nada, no sabía cómo expresarme en inglés. ¿Qué yo hago aquí? No, terrible. Pero luego de 2 años, en medio de la pandemia, apliqué a Berklee online y audicioné online para la universidad aquí en Boston. Y fue más o menos así que pasó.
And you just started at Berklee in January as a full-time student, correct?
Yeah.
So this is your first semester and you're in finals week right now, today. So thank you for being here. Seriously, we really appreciate it.
Jason,
yeah,
can I add to her testimony that when she auditioned on that competition, like everybody was very moved. O sea, todo el mundo estaba muy emocionado por lo que ella transmitía a través de lo que estaba tocando, de su interpretación con la música clásica. Y recuerdo que los jurados, incluso después que se entregaron las becas, siempre preguntaban, y me preguntaban a mí, ¿y Marisabel? ¿Dónde está Marisabel? ¿Cuándo viene Marisabel? Queremos a Marisabel aquí porque dejó una impresión bien, bien grande en los jurados y yo entiendo que va a dejar una huella, como lo han hecho cada uno de los muchachos allá.
Yeah. And Javi, would you just take a moment to kind of recap what Oshin mentioned about the application? And I'll add that link again one more time in the chat, but just, it's an easy application. We want to make it as simple as possible. And just Oshin's points about what people need to submit as far as their links.
Sí, lo más importante que yo quisiera puntualizar de lo que Oshin dijo es que no cometan el error de pensar que tienen que audicionar con algo específico. Berklee es una escuela holística donde hay de todo. Que si tú quieres jazz, están los mejores profesores de jazz del mundo. Yo puedo atestiguar eso. Pero si tú lo que quieres es producción, están ganadores y ganadores de premios Grammy y de todo tipo de premios y que han grabado, que han producido, han trabajado. Si tú lo que quieres es film scoring, están personas que han estado insertadas en la industria. O sea, es una escuela diversa. Me gusta el ejemplo de Marisabel, porque Marisabel es músico clásico y audicionó con un concierto, si mal no recuerdo, de Mozart, ¿verdad?
De Vivaldi.
De Vivaldi, perdón, con un concierto de Vivaldi. Y entonces, eso quita ese estigma de que solamente el jazz. Lo que sí tienes que ser es muy bueno en lo que haces. Si tú tocas batería y lo que tocas es rock, pues entonces haga las dos mejores videos de su pieza de rock que usted quiera. No hay por qué sentirse presionado ni nervioso, porque diferente a como Marisabel le tocó, esta es una audición por video. O sea, usted no va a estar ahí en ese momento, usted va a presentar su video. Y entonces ya hay otras informaciones como su email, la escuela de donde vienen y todo eso. Perdón, estamos un poquito con la temperatura afectándonos, pero lo más importante es eso, aplicar con lo mejor que ustedes tengan. Si usted es un guitarrista de bachata, pues mande una bachata que le vuele la cabeza a todos los jurados. Si usted lo que compone canciones, ponga sus dos mejores canciones ahí e interprétela de la mejor forma posible. O sea, la audición es abierta para todos, cantantes, instrumentistas. De hecho, hay un amigo de Marisabel que llegó junto con ella, que es Gabelo, que audicionó con un score para cine que hizo de una película imaginaria y con eso logró conseguir su beca y ser aceptado en la universidad. O sea que presenten lo mejor de ustedes mismos, porque al final la universidad toma mucho en cuenta qué tú le vas a ofrecer a la universidad. O sea, tu persona como músico, ¿qué le aporta a la comunidad de Berklee?
Yeah, man. Thank you so much. That's very helpful. I'm going to bring Oshin back in because we've got a lot of questions here in the chat, and maybe we can start taking a look at a few of these as we go into the question and answer part of this. One of the first ones, Oshin, that I saw was from Ivana Pena, and she asked, do you think that college students, I guess she's currently in college, could enroll and take the 5-week experience and be able to balance it? She's currently in college, but she wants to maybe do the 5-week program, and what would that experience be like? I'm guessing, Ivana, you would not be studying at a university; you'd be just only at Berklee at that time. But Oshin, to her point about balancing the workload at 5-week, for somebody that's currently in college, what do you think?
I would say that it is possible because it actually happens. There are students who are at college doing studies remotely for different places that came to 5-week and went through the 5-week. I would say that 5-week is what you want to get out of it. You need to put in your heart and soul to really reap the benefit of what it is, because like the degree program at Berklee, not every musician who comes to Berklee for the degree is the best performer. They might be a wonderful songwriter and people see something in that. Not everyone is the best writer, but then they try and pursue that at Berklee, and suddenly this person becomes Charlie Puth, or one of these kids who, ends up as one of the greatest songwriters of this pop age. And the reason I find I go back to is the power of the community to lift people to ability and possibilities that you just can't do when you're sitting at home and you're just meeting up with a couple of people every week, or the same people. It's the community that really brings up, they say, that lifts all boats. And so if you're not invested in the community, if you're trying to do an awful lot of extra stuff, I think that's a little bit of a wasted opportunity. I think when you get to Berklee for the 5-week program, you should really try and immerse yourself and do as much as possible as you can to meet other people and perform and write together and do the things you would do if Berklee was your degree experience. And you've got a short amount of years. It's very expensive potentially unless you get a lot of scholarship. and you really need to come out of there with something valuable for your time and energy and resources. And I think you treat 5 week the same way. The more you put into it, the more you get out of it, in my experience with students at 5 week.
Thanks, Oshin. That's really, really helpful to hear. And we're going to go to one more question, and then we have somebody that's got their hand raised. But this other question is about the age. And I don't think we touched on this in your presentation, but Eduardo Gonzalez here he's 10 years old. And he's like wanting to do this. So for 10-year-old Eduardo Gonzalez, what would you say to somebody at that age? Is there, maybe 5 week isn't the time, but there might be other things that they could do, right?
Yeah, 5 week is a little bit early for 10 years of age. We have had students as young as 13 and very, very special circumstances who would have to have been chaperoned on campus, that kind of thing, by adults, it's a difficult experience. A lot of your family has to buy into it. And the only reason that it would be allowed on campus is if we could figure out there was enough maturity there for that student to be around students who will typically be around average age 16, 17. We typically see from anywhere from 15 to 21, I'd say is the highest age of a lot of people. We do get older students, but a lot of 21-year-olds you would see students who want to, there's a lot of students who go on to, other degree programs and things, and they really want to scratch this itch because they're really good musicians and they just have this need to develop their vocabulary and harmony, or maybe their songwriting, whatever it is. And 5 week is a great opportunity for students in that sort of situation to come and scratch that itch. So 10 years old, it's even a little young for our other program, the day sessions. It's possible that we could permit a 10-year-old to attend day sessions, but again, we would need to have parents present. And the day sessions program is like a junior version of our summer programs to sort of just give an introduction to harmony and performance and a little bit of writing, chart reading, that kind of thing, prior to the 5 week program, which is kind of 15 and up. We are exploring even younger programming, but that's not going to be around for a couple of years yet.
Cool.
Can I add something, Jason?
Yeah, go for it, Javi. And then
Yeah,
Marcus.
We have a precedent. Tuvimos un estudiante que participó en el programa de Berklee en Santo Domingo con 11 años, tocando trompeta, y un músico maravilloso. Y simplemente él siguió asistiendo hasta que se dio la oportunidad a los 13 años, como dice Oisin. Pero en el caso de él, su padre tuvo que abandonar su trabajo por 5 semanas y acompañarlo a cada una de sus clases. Por suerte, el papá de John Martes, que ahora mismo es estudiante en Berklee, de hecho acaba de ganar un concurso para estudiantes de trompeta muy prestigioso allá. Suerte que el papá también es músico y aprovechó mucho el estar ahí en ese ambiente, pero es bien complicado porque no es un campus cerrado, es un campus que está en medio de la ciudad con avenidas alrededor y todo eso. Entonces tener niños sin cierto cuidado es un poco peligroso. Ahora, ¿qué yo te diría? Aplica y manda tu video para que te vayan viendo y vayan viendo tu potencial. Y el año que viene tú vuelves y aplica, y cuando venimos a ver, tenemos una persona súper preparada y un tremendo candidato para una fecha futura.
¿Puedo añadir algo, Javier? Cuando yo entré, yo tenía como 10, creo que 16, tenía 15, casi 16. Y yo firmé un papel que tenía un guardián que ella a cada rato estaba como viendo todo, porque tenemos toque de queda, los que somos menores de edad, cuando estábamos en el 5 week, y ellos son muy cuidadosos con los estudiantes de esas edades.
Ánimo Arturo, que tienes mucho tiempo por delante y lo más seguro, mucho talento. Ánimo, Arturo.
Marcos, you're here. You have a question for us, sir?
Yes, nice to see you again, man.
Man.
Jason. So I have a good question. What resources do you offer in the website for people to go? You know that everyone has a different level, different skill set. So which resources do you offer in the website that people can have a reference to? en español. Hay muchas personas de diferentes niveles que van a aplicar para estas becas. ¿Qué recursos ustedes ofrecen en su página web para tener una referencia?
So just to clarify the question, Marcos, thanks very much for your question. Are you asking what preparation materials do we provide so you can get ready for 5 week? Is that kind of the question?
Yeah, that's correct.
Or is it about what do I need to bring? What how do I prepare for life in Boston during the program?
Yeah,
so
everything, because right now we just have right now it's just an information session for the program itself, but there's some things that are beyond the application and being accepted. So what are students expecting when they get to Boston and what they need to prepare for?
Of course. Let me get some resources, some links in here for you. So some of the stuff that we would really recommend looking at is on the, let me find the name of the page here. Is the parent and student resources page. So I'm just going to put that in the chat here. Unfortunately, not yet in Spanish. And this particular kind of information is a little bit later on, maybe at the end of this month. We have a website that goes live, which has very detailed information on exactly what's going to happen during that 5 week experience. So where all the major performances are, where all the ensemble performances take place, where things are in general, location information. There's a ton of information that goes up on what we call the 5 week website. That's a kind of an internal name. I think it's called student resources, 5 week student resources when it goes up, when it goes live. And there's folks working on that website right now based on what's going to be the program experience for this coming summer. And that'll go live. And that is the real place to get the information of the sort of what, where, and why. If you're worried about musicianship kind of information, we often refer to our Coursera course, which is free. I think it's still free, Jason, right?
It is, and there's some of the classes are in Spanish, and then all the classes are subtitled in Spanish for those of you that would prefer that. And so I just dropped the link in there. I am a big fan of Coursera, so you can do performance, you can do harmony, you can do improvisation, music business, songwriting, production. It's all there. Jump in and have fun.
And particularly, there's a video from our chair of harmony, and it's particularly good for just kind of introduction to harmony, and in a very, very accessible way. Our chair of harmony is called George Russell Jr. He's a fantastic pianist and musician and very well-known musicologist in America. But his way of showing how harmony works, and specifically the Berklee angle to harmony, so that we're trying to get to chord symbols straight away and be able to chart music so we can share it with the band and we can all get to where we need to go with very little delay. That kind of information, it's you get to see how Berklee works through its educational process, and that's very helpful information, I think, to understand how the instruction will work. And once you understand that before Berklee, I find that students are able to get up to speed very quickly. They understand, this is how they do it. It's very straightforward. It's very direct instruction. It doesn't talk about Handel was born in 16, whatever. It doesn't go that direction. It really goes to what do we need to achieve, what we need to achieve, the topic of this class, and get in right at the level and try and bring everyone to a different place. So it's quite a practical instruction. And once you get used to that way of doing business, I think you find things work very quickly for you from there.
Cool. Thanks, Oshin, and thanks, Marcos. Man, it's great to see you. Thank you for being here, sir.
Good to see you too. See you in Boston.
Great. Yes, yeah, man. And I've got Angel. Angel, why don't you jump in, sir, and ask your question?
Hey, Angel.
Hi, good evening, everyone. So my English is not very well, but I'm gonna do some question to Javier. in this case, that is hip Hispanic.
Todo bien.
Javiero, mi hermano, ¿cómo tú estás?
Saludos, saludos.
Yo estoy un poquito nuevo en este asuntito de la aplicación, Javier, y me gustaría tener algunos detalles específicos como hasta qué día son las audiciones y hacia dónde, en qué página debo enviar el video para poder aplicar.
Ok.
Sí. No se escucha.
So he's asking about the deadline for the videos and the web page. Bueno, el link donde debes aplicar está en el chat de la reunión ahora mismo y va a estar en la página de Berklee que se le va a dedicar a la aplicación de la beca. What's the deadline, Oisin, for this audition?
So we're trying to be really cognizant of. I saw May 13 in the chat, but actually we wanted to do May 20 deadline.
Yeah.
May 20, and the reason, I mean, we would give you like a lot more time. It's just really important that we have enough time once the decisions are made and the awards are awarded for those students to be able to get the I-20 visa that you need to get to come study in the US. So May 20 gives us a good time where we can turn around really quickly, make those decisions so the students can go and get their visa embassy dates together, and so they'll be in good time to come. So May 20 is when we decided we needed to have as the last day for submission.
Sí, la aplicación el último día se está pidiendo mayo 20 para que haya tiempo para evaluar y poder informar acerca de los premiados con tiempo, porque todos, no importa si usted tiene visa de paseo americana, tienen que hacer el proceso del I-20, que es la visa de estudiante. Y por suerte, en el consulado aquí están siempre atentos a este evento y a esta actividad y, perdón, y ellos entienden cuando estudiantes van con estos papeles que demuestran que tienen ese premio. Entonces es muy importante que comiencen a trabajar inmediatamente en lo que van a enviar.
And Oshin, really quickly, I think they can just do it on their phone. It doesn't need to be like in a video studio. It just can be a phone video that they can upload right to YouTube is perfect, right?
Totally. The phones these days, even an entry-level phone, does a great recording. Just be sure that if you've got sort of a very loud bass or very loud guitar, turn it back a little bit. It's not necessary to have it really that loud because it just gives you a substandard recording. Just make sure that when you watch that video, go, okay, I can hear me and I can hear what I'm doing and what I'm intending to bring across in my performance, and you should be all set. And I saw something about songwriters. We're very, very interested in songwriting at Berklee. It's a huge, huge major. I think it's the largest major now, Jason, is it?
It's getting there.
It's getting there. And it's I mean, it speaks for itself when you see so many Berklee alumni, you know, getting very famous for their songwriting. But don't be dissuaded from submitting, you know, if songwriting is your thing. We're definitely looking at your songwriting and we're very, very interested in it. And we're hoping to have some folks with Spanish language involved in this process that, you know, if you're singing in Spanish, we're not going to exclude you just because, you know, there's a lot of English speaking folks in Boston. We're very cognizant that, you know, Spanish language song is super important to Berklee and super important to the world of music. So don't be worried about submitting Spanish language songs or English language songs as a Spanish speaker. You know, so just to add that.
Cool.
Pues para puntualizar eso que dijo Isin, que es muy importante, si lo tuyo es la composición de canciones, aplica con las mejores canciones que tengan. Y si tus canciones son en español, que es lo lógico, va a haber personas en el jurado que hablan español que van a poder discernir qué tan buena es tu canción, qué tan buena es tu aplicación. O sea, en Berklee se está muy, muy, muy interesado. De hecho, según ellos mencionaron, se está convirtiendo ahora mismo en la carrera con más estudiantes. O sea que ánimo a los compositores también.
Cool. Montserrat, why don't you jump in and ask your question?
Hello, well, good evening to everyone. I just wanted to ask, when does the 5-week program starts? Like,
It's a great
is it
question.
in July or is it in June?
It is in July, and it starts exactly on July the, I'll get that exact day so that I'm not talking out of my hat. July 9th is the check-in day, the actual start of the program, and it finishes on August 12th.
Great question.
Okay,
Thanks, Montserrat.
thank
Yep.
you.
Yeah. And then let's have Cesarina, you want to come and join us and ask your question?
Yeah. In the chat there are a question. Is necessary to know the English to apply the program?
Ah,
There are a question.
that's a great question.
From I don't remember the name, but the question is in the chat. Thank
Yeah.
you very much.
Thank you. Yeah. Oshin, what is the language requirement for the program?
So that is a really great question. The instruction is through English. There are plenty of Spanish-speaking faculty in the program, and you could ask them questions on the side, but they're going to, deliver what they're teaching in English because it's an English language program. It would be very beneficial to improve your English if possible at all before you come, because you don't want to miss out on some of the instruction that's being given in the classroom. So we don't have a Spanish version of this program at the moment. It would be lovely to do that, but at this time we don't have that. So it is important to be able to at least understand English instruction. So if you're doing a class online through English and you're finding it easy to understand the concepts, what's going on, you're able to get to the end of it and go, yeah, I've got that, then you're going to be in good shape. They won't try and they will explain things. They will have time with you. We do office hours with faculty where you can catch up and stuff. But if you had very low level English, it would be quite a difficult program. You would be doing mostly performing and trying to listen to concepts and trying to do them without actually understanding what you're being asked to do. So that would be quite difficult.
Oisin, can I take the spirit of the question and give it to you again?
Please do.
You can answer it real quick. So is it an obstacle not to know English? Like, is it a requirement to know English for the 5-week program specifically?
It's a requirement to understand spoken English, I think. That wouldn't mean, you could submit your videos. We'd think you're the best musician on the planet. We'd put you in the program, but it would hurt your experience if you weren't able to understand. So I think it's a requirement to understand spoken English, for sure.
Entonces lo que él dice, lo más importante, o sea, más que un requerimiento, lo que se requiere es el entendimiento del idioma. O sea, el poderse desenvolver con lo mínimo. Y no solo la experiencia de Marisabel, sino de muchos estudiantes que hemos tenido, que han ido a su primer 5-week con un nivel bien bajo de inglés y ya están cursando la universidad ya. O sea que de todas maneras eso es algo que es importante para la vida, el aprender el inglés. O sea que es, vamos a decir que es un requerimiento para su propio beneficio, pero no lo vea como una pared que le va a impedir aplicar a este proceso.
I'd be really interested to hear what Maria's experience tells her about what students who'd come to Berklee and had very low level English. You probably have a great idea about how that might work out.
I would say in Spanish for, because I have so many people that write in the chat. Cuando yo vine al 5-week, en mi entrevista para el 5-week, Javielo me traducía todo. Yo recuerdo perfectamente. Y cuando llegué a Berklee, los primeros días era como que no entiendo nada que está pasando, pero sí sabía como pues lo básico y podía entender mis clases. Los profesores son muy, entienden perfectamente que vienen muchas personas de muchas partes, pero cuando llegan aquí, miren, van a encontrar tantos latinos y dominicanos que ustedes no se van a sentir como que eso va a ser una barrera para ustedes. Nunca piensen que el inglés, que el no saber inglés, que por no saber inglés no se van a arriesgar. Eso es algo que se va aprendiendo con el tiempo y no pierdan la oportunidad de ver por el inglés.
Thank you so much. That's really
Jason,
helpful. Yeah.
there's a very important question in the chat that
Which one are you seeing?
says, may an immigrant student from the conservatory may apply for the 5-week program? Bueno, pues déjame decirte, and you want me to answer, Palmer, do you want me to answer in English or in Spanish? Bueno, lo voy a decir en español.
Sí.
Las audiciones son abiertas para todos los dominicanos y personas que residan en República Dominicana ahora mismo. Palmer, tú tienes tenemos un ejemplo ahora mismo de un compatriota de Haití, Esli Honoré, que ahora mismo tiene la beca presidencial, que es la beca más grande que da Berklee. Y fue un estudiante que pasó por este mismo proceso, ganó una beca para ir al 5-week y después del 5-week aplicó a la universidad, así mismo como lo hizo Marisabel, y en su proceso su nivel fue tan alto que fue premiado con esta beca y ahora mismo está en los Estados Unidos estudiando allá en Berklee, de hecho le está yendo súper bien. O sea que no te desanimes y aplica, que esto es abierto para todos los dominicanos que estén donde sean y las personas que residen en nuestro país, aunque sean extranjeros. Perdón, no sé si eso contesta tu pregunta.
Cool. Thank you, Javi. Oshin, Erwin's got a question. Seems like he's a very active musician. He's a guitarist and he's a vocalist and a writer, a singer, and he wants to send in more than 2 items. So what do you say to somebody like Erwin, who's got a lot of music going on?
I think we can't accept really more than 2 because we're trying to allow the same opportunity for all students. But I would say, as part of your video, the 3-minute rule is not necessarily a rule that says if you have a video longer than 3 minutes, we're not going to look at it. That's not at all the case. It's that we would use 3 minutes as an average of that's how much video we will look at. If there's longer, we'll still only generally look at 3 minutes. But if I was Erwin, I would start off my video explaining what I do, explaining some of the music that you're talking about. You could even play a little bit of it through your DAW if you have a sequencer or a notation software that plays it back, anything like that. And then you could go about the piece that you wanted to play. And that's perfectly acceptable. It shows what you do in all different facets of what you do. And you can also perform and show that part too. So that's how I would suggest doing it for this particular process, because we're doing just the 2 videos for everyone. There's not even an essay with this process like there would be with the general scholarship as application.
So really, if you have more than 2 videos, you really have to pick the 2 best things. So you've got to edit yourself and give the summer programs office the 2 best videos.
I will say that we've had scholarship videos where people said, I'm going to tell you about myself and then I'm going to play. And some of those can be really the best because it tells a story about you as a musician and your experience and what makes you tick. And then we get to hear it. And that's a really lovely video to make. So it's a good idea to have a little bit of narrative about who you are and what your music is doing for you, where you want it to go.
Cool. Esteban Pena, sir, you have a question for us?
Yes, I do. In the case of winning the scholarship, does the winners the winners need to fill out like the I-20 form or like some paperwork before actually getting to Boston?
Yes, that's correct. We will be in touch with the winners right away. And we have my colleague Kathleen O'Connell in our office manages our I-20 process, and she'll be guiding you through the whole process. We send you a letter with the amounts in it, so that's good for the visa process itself. It guarantees entry. It pretty much guarantees the I-20 will be successful. Should caveat that with American immigration can sometimes get involved and be, be what it
and
is.
these forms are already like covered, right? You don't have to pay for any of the process.
That's a great question. The visa process in itself, we don't cover that. No, we don't cover the visa submission cost. So that is a cost that students will have to come up with themselves. Great question. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Sí, el proceso de visa aquí es algo que no es complicado para los estudiantes y más cuando es para cursos de verano de ese tipo. O sea, se hace lo mismo, se aplica, se compra un PIN como se hace aquí y se hace la cita en la embajada y se va con todos tus papeles de tu email y tu premio que te van a dar si eres la persona agraciada. Y entonces ya ahí se hace ese proceso de visado, que es un proceso normal. Repito que no importa si tienen visa de 10 años de turista, con esa visa no podrían hacer el curso. Tienen que hacer el proceso de la visa de estudiante.
Sí. Thanks, Javi. Oh, we lost Jen. All right, so up next we have Diana. Diana, you've been raising your hand for a long time, so why don't you hop in and ask your question? Diana.
Excuse me, first of all, my throat kind of hurts. I just got rid of a flu.
Oh.
So if I start in the middle of just the whole thing, I'm sorry.
No worries.
I'm not trying to interrupt anybody. So my question is, hola Maria, regarding my question is regarding the what was it called? Yeah, the classes. If I want to specialize in more than one area, like performance and sound engineering, do the classes like clash with one another, or they have like windows that separate them significantly, so I don't have to worry about running from one class to the other because they are not related, so they don't really. I don't know how the schedule will work regarding that. I'm concerned about that because I want to apply to more than one area because I'm interested in more than one. So yeah.
So what do you think, Rasheen?
More than one area of, sorry, I was trying to write to Irvin as you were talking there. More than one style or more than, I didn't catch the.
For example, if I want to study performance and sound engineering, like specialized during the 5 weeks, do the classes clash with one another?
Great question. So the whole program focus is performance. So performance is what everyone has to do for a huge amount of the program. And that doesn't clash with anything because we make that work in terms of how the classes work. And the things like music production courses and that, those are called electives. And those are things you choose on the registration form. And then afterwards, you can actually negotiate to change into those or out of those, depending on whether they're working for you or not. But the schedule is made so that you're able to attend. Sometimes there are clashes with things, but we also work to move around things in student schedules to try and help you to get to where you need to be with the pathway that you want to take in the course.
I have another question, if that doesn't bother, event like doesn't
Please
take too much time.
Okay.
I'm aware that the 5 weeks will be pretty intense, but also we will have like time to just rest and meet people, talk to them, learn something about the other instruments and styles they play. And regarding that time, do we have any limitations or places we cannot go within the campus or outside of it? Because I'm a minor still. I don't want to inconvenience anybody because I will be there alone in case I get to go, hopefully.
Okay, so I'll answer one part of that, and I'd like Maria to answer the other part, and hopefully in Spanish. I'll answer the last part of what you said. We over the years have developed a very strong student affairs structure around the program. So really, safety first is what we're after. We want to make sure the students are safe, that their parents know that they're safe and accounted for at all times. So there are certain places as a minor we won't let you let you go, that we don't want you to be going off doing. And if we find out, you get the information when you come on campus, and if we find out, then there are sort of punitive measures that take place for students who don't follow the rules. We'll say the rules are not designed to sort of lock students down. That's not at all how it works. Within the campus, you can go anywhere. But off of campus and in certain hours of the night, you must be, within the campus buildings and within your dorm before curfew, which I believe is 10 p.m. I'd have to look that up again. Maria knows very well that time is. And so I'll hand it over to Maria to say there is a lot of stuff that goes on during the program.
Yeah, I want to say that Diana is with me in La Vega. We have an orchestra and she plays with me. She's awesome. And I'm so glad that she's here now. So, Diana, what do you want to know specific? Lo puedes decir en español también.
Bueno, primero, gracias por hablar también de mí.
No te preocupes.
Segundo, lo que nos explicaron de las clases me chocan, es una preocupación que yo tenía, así que muchas gracias por aclarármelo. Y con respecto al toque de queda y las limitaciones como menores de edad, según tu experiencia, ¿qué tan limitante, entre muchísimas comillas, porque te da mucha libertad como sea, hasta donde yo entiendo, es?
No. O sea, yo en verdad me sentía protegida ahí y me sentía como también libre. O sea, en el sentido de que Berklee es una comunidad, no es simplemente una universidad. Es totalmente una comunidad en todos los sentidos. Entonces, tú no te preocupes por eso. Tú vas a tener, si Dios quiere, si te ganas una beca, si logras venir, tienes la oportunidad de conocer mucho, porque el 5 Week te da la oportunidad de tu poder conocer. Obviamente tienes tu clase, tienes que tomar algunos exámenes y cosas, pero no te preocupes por eso. Y sobre lo que decías de como parte de engineer, algo así, durante el 5 Week puedes conocer a muchas personas. Yo estoy pensando trabajar en el Summer Program, esperando a ver si puedo trabajar en el 5 Week, pero durante el 5 Week puedes conocer a muchas personas de diferentes partes de la industria. Incluso conoces estudiantes de aquí, conoces profesores que ya están en el medio, entonces, pues también te sirve.
Muchas gracias.
Cool. Thanks, Diana. And one of the questions that's come up, Oshin, is when will they hear the answer about the scholarship?
We'll turn it around that week of the 20th. So you'll hear by the end of that week at the latest, by the Friday, which would be the
27th?
27th will be the very latest. We'll likely get a decision out earlier that week, but that will be the very, very latest.
O sea, la respuesta de las becas se va a dar el 27 de mayo.
Sí, gracias. Jan, you want to join us? I hope I get your name, Jean. Thank you for joining us.
Jan, it's Jan.
Jan, great. Thank you.
In the case of not knowing or having the basics of reading a music sheet, do you guys give that like from zero in the 5 week program? En español, a los que no entendieron, en el caso de no saber leer o estar en los básicos aprendiendo a leer una hoja musical, ¿ustedes dan los básicos en el 5 week program o nosotros tenemos ya que saber leer música en ese caso?
So, Sheen, what do you think? Students, we have some students that come in that have very little music literacy, right?
Yeah, the whole sort of ethos is to take you where you are, and a lot of the students will have very little knowledge of written music, especially you guitar players. Learn your notation and tabs. Well, you could say that about a lot of instruments. I got a lot of musicians' jokes, but yeah, we don't worry about being a bad reader, for example. We'll work on that. One of the big things we want to try and help you do is understand the importance of charting music in trying to achieve your goals. And if you're not able to chart music, well, that's something that you'll learn at the program, and that's a great thing to take away with you.
Okay, thank you so much, guys.
Great question. Thank you so much.
Jason, let me say hi to her dad that is back there. He's actually an alum from the Berklee in Santo Domingo program.
Oh
He
yeah.
was one of Miguel Montaz, great drummer and percussionist. He was a guest of our program for,
Yes.
for the 4 times that we did. Even the Michelle Camilo
Clinics
program,
yeah.
the clinics, he was there. So big hug, my friend.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Cool. And Esteban, you're back. You got one more question for us?
I do. Does the scholarship include by obligation the dorms, or can one stay like off campus by choice, paying all the rent and stuff and food? Like, is it obligated to stay in dorms?
What we pay for is the dorms. If you have your own accommodation, that's completely fine. I saw a question there about someone who's over 21 who might not want to stay in the dorm. I would say there are going to be a lot of other over 21-year-olds staying in that building. We don't house people with disparate ages. If you're over 21, you'll be in one dorm. If you're a minor, you'll be in another dorm. We put girls with girls, boys with boys, for all sorts of safety reasons. And also, you know, that's who wants to hang out together for those moments where they're doing things in the dorms. So if you wanted to stay off a campus, that's fine, but that would be something that you'd have to manage all of it all on your own. Food is all covered in this scholarship. All your meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. On the weekends, rather than breakfast and lunch, they do brunch. It's just a 10 to 12 p.m. or 1 p.m. brunch thing. So it's 2 meals rather than 3 on the weekend. But yes, that's all inclusive, bed and board.
Yeah.
Can I add something? La compañía AES Dominicana se ha preocupado para que esta sea una experiencia lo más completa posible para los 5 estudiantes que sean elegidos. Y por eso la compañía ha proveído los fondos para que se pague no solo la colegiatura del programa, sino también el dormitorio y la comida, que es un comedor igual que cuando usted va aquí a un hotel de esos, todo incluido, las 3 calientes, como le decimos aquí. Entonces, yo soy de los que le digo, yo no fui a 5 Week, pero estuve como estudiante allá en medio de un verano, y creo que es importante estar la mayor parte del tiempo ahí. Allá en Boston la renta fuera de la universidad es bastante cara, y si ya te la van a pagar dentro de la universidad, y como dijo Oisin, si tú tienes una edad de 20, 22, 23, tú vas a estar en un dorm donde va a haber personas de tu edad con otro tipo de curfew inclusive, y los menores van a estar en otro sitio. Entonces, hemos hecho un sacrificio bien grande para que esta gente hagan esta donación tan amablemente para que se cubra
es el keyword,
exacto.
Curfew. El curfew diferente.
Pues, exactamente. Entonces, lo importante es que aprovechen el 100% de lo que se le va a entregar.
Cool. Well, I just want to thank everybody for joining us. I know we're past the hour, and I really appreciate everybody taking time. I just want to do a couple of really quick things. Ladies and gentlemen, please bookmark this link that I'm throwing in the chat. That's the summer program website for 5 Week. Everything that Oshin has been sharing and Maria has been sharing is on that site, including the video, and you can dig in from there. I'm going to add in this document one more time. This is the summary document that describes the AES scholarship. Huge thanks to our friends at Fundación AES Dominicana for being incredibly generous in creating these opportunities. They've been doing this for a number of years. Maria, you're one of these amazing students who has been able to come and study with us in the 5 Week program, and now you're a full-time student at Berklee like a number of the AES scholars are. So we are truly appreciative of their generosity. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, don't overthink it. You've been playing music for a number of years. You've got a repertoire of music that you love playing. Pick 2 songs, 2 pieces of music that showcase what you do. There's the link to the form. You have until May 20th to get that application in so that Oshin and his team can review them. And then by May 27th, make the announcements for the scholarship recipients. 5 awards this year going to be made. So, and we're really looking forward to having another group of incredible musicians from the Dominican Republic joining us in Boston. And we'll do another ice cream party. I grab all the Dominican students. We go hang out at JP Licks and grab some ice cream.
Just to add to that, Jason, the last time we did this AES scholarship, we got all the submissions. I was really excited to see them, but I was blown away by the talent. Whatever's going on in Dominican Republic, whatever's in the water, you guys are so musical, and you're so talented all over. There was such a high level. So be confident. You're really, really good. You're hitting up there with all of the best students we ever see. Be confident, enjoy yourself in your videos, and the best of luck to everyone.
Yeah, thank you, everybody, ladies and gentlemen. Truly appreciate your time. Just really quickly, too, I'm going to throw the plug in here because I got to do it. If you want to, be sure to follow Global Initiatives on social media. We are here. Let's see. Hold on. There we go. Bam. And you can follow at Summer. Is it Berklee Summer, Oshin?
That's Berklee Summer. Yeah. Hashtag Berklee Summer.
Yep, at Berklee Summer. And then if you want to go and check out this video, we're going to post this video. I'll post it tomorrow on our YouTube page. It'll be up there with all of our other YouTube videos. Oshin, Javier, Maria, Marcos, thank you, sir, for joining us. And everybody, be well, stay safe, stay healthy, keep creating great music. And I look forward to seeing you in the Dominican Republic when I get back there, hopefully really soon. And then seeing as many of you in Boston as possible.
Ánimo, ánimo.
Cool. Cheers. Take care, everybody. Thank you. Have a good night.